What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Nikki, and I'm back, y'all. And y'all, I got a little something done. If I look different, I got my little lashes on. I went to the nail place. They do the little lashes and they had the little tint thing. I ain't know what it was, y'all. I ain't really into the little makeup thing. But she was like, "Do you want to do something to your brows?" 'Cause y'all know I barely got anything. If you're watching videos, I ain't got no eyelash, no eyebrow, no nail. I'm bald. So make a long story short, I let her do something to my face. So she, what I'm saying, put my little lashes and stuff on. What I'm saying, got my hair did. And I told y'all, me and my husband was going on a little trip that we supposed to been took back in May. Y'all, it's cold. I'm in Florida. I'm next to the water. Let me show y'all the view. I'm next to the water, y'all. And when I tell y'all, it is cold. Well, it ain't too cold, but it's cold. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get sick in this weather. But so if y'all hear any music or anything that's other people playing, I hope and pray that y'all can, really hear me. And if you hear the waves, that's the ocean. I can't control what God do. But anyways, y'all, I came on here after I listen to y'all know I be listening to my word and stuff like that. And sometimes my word is good. I have nothing to say. You know what I'm saying? But I was listening to a word, and I ain't gonna name no names on who word it was because I don't really want to feel like I'm coming up against anybody. That's not mine. That's not my thing. It's just um, when I hear something that I may disagree with, I'm gonna talk about it. And so I was listening to the word, and the person was like, if you find yourself in different places where people are always coming up against you, maybe it's you. Sometimes that may be true. But in my case, you guys, it's not. Honestly. Like I have always said, y'all, after my mom passed when I was younger, I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know where to go, who to listen to, where to follow, da. I pretty much chose to do things based off of what other people were doing. If you was doing this and you came to me and I trusted you, what I'm saying, not to lead me into just wrong place or whatever, which just pretty much my family. And I had a couple friends, but mainly family. And I just followed, you know what I'm saying? I just did what other people was doing. And I was, like I said, I was always the youngest, you know what I'm saying? So when people was living their life and, you know what I'm saying, getting married, getting houses, throwing parties, like just living the life, when I'm invited, I just came. I always showed up in good faith. I never went to somebody's house trying to judge what they had going on, like looking like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was never me. Has never been me. But I can tell you, the reason why I always felt like I was the black sheep, the underdog, whatever you want to call it, is because every time I went somewhere, if it was at work, if it was like just many places, a lot of people on this earth don't like to see people be in good faith. So they try everything in their power to break you. They try everything in their power to take your voice. And I find myself quiet a lot in workplaces where I felt like people was coming up against me. If you said something about me, I didn't try to battle what you said. I just let my work speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, the boss or whomever is over us or whatever, or see me for who I really am. I don't have to fuss back and forth with you because that's not me. It was never me. And I just I always found myself in like those type of places, like because I always felt like because I was so quiet and I probably wasn't just a likable person. Well, I wouldn't say I wasn't likable because I really am a cool person, you know what I'm saying? But I don't display that. I display, if I'm at work, I'm focused on work. And some people don't like that. Even my sister is one of the jolliest person. She was that type of person that gonna walk in the room, hey, she got these big jobs and all this stuff. She gonna speak to everybody and all this other stuff. That's my sister. I'm not that type of person. I may come in the room and don't speak, but I don't mean, I really got a problem with somebody. It's just that I don't trust people. So I be a lot to myself, you know what I'm saying? And people who recognize that sometimes are good and then sometimes they're bad. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they don't like the fact that you to yourself and that you focusing on your work. They want to go to the boss and like, y'all, I remember I worked at City Trends back in the days. I had an older lady. She was good with the boss. I was good with the boss. Like, quick story. Okay. Start working at City Trends. Y'all, this was minimum wage back then was like $5. But, so, it was another lady that hired me. That she was the boss at the time. But a lot of things happened. She ended up going to, I think, the City Trends across the, on the other side of town. Across the town. And so, the lady who became the boss, I would never forget. First she wasn't. It was somebody else. But then they made her the boss. She came to me and she shook my hand. And she said, thank you for not coming up against me. Thank you for being just a person who works. And I was like, you're welcome. You know what I'm saying? It threw me for a loop because I didn't know that I wasn't paying attention to everybody else that was, that was testing her and, was down at her, making it seem like she wouldn't do a good job. Like, people really do these type of things. But I'm not a follower into that aspect. Like I said, I don't dislike somebody because everybody else disliked them. No, I'm going to get to know that person for myself. You know what I'm saying? And if I dislike that person, then, oh well. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to dislike them because you dislike them. No, that's not me. So she came to me and she came and shook my hand and she was like, thank you for not being one of those people because, everybody else was coming up against her and I wasn't. And I was like, you're welcome, So she took a liking to me just for that. You know what I'm saying? We weren't just close, but she knew that I wasn't a type of person that, was dramified and just came with, negativity type of things. She knew this. So it was another lady started working with us. She was an older lady, you know what I'm saying? And I can admit, I probably, like, when you're first learning something, you're probably not the best at it, you know what I'm saying? You learn it, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, whenever the boss said something good about me, this old lady, y'all, she always had something negative to say. Like, always had something negative to say. And I can remember one morning going to work and she had a meeting with me and this lady. Y'all, I'm really confused because I didn't even know this lady had so much to say about me. But she really did. And she didn't like it because the boss liked me. And I ain't did that to her. You know what I'm saying? I ain't did nothing to her. But because she got a relationship with the boss and the boss liked me also, she didn't like it. And so I can remember her saying something about me, the lady that didn't like me. I can remember her saying something about me, about my work ethic and something like that. And the boss was like, hold up, I like Nikki, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, I'm always rooting for the underdog because she was once the underdog, you know what I'm saying? So once the boss said that, she looked at me kind of funny, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it took somebody who she liked to show her, you know what I'm saying, that sometimes people ain't got to be just this perfect person in order to be in good graces with other people. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to be in this. My job ain't have to be just so perfect that the good that I did do, you didn't recognize. You know what I'm saying? I was recognized for that. And eventually, y'all, when I tell you I became the best at it, at what I was doing, like, I really did. I had other people even telling me that I taught them how to do things, and I didn't even see myself as that type of person, as that kind of role model or something like that. But it happened that way, you know what I'm saying? And I was just thankful, you know what I'm saying? I never was that person who, like, when it came to, because there be competition in jobs, I do understand that. But I was never, give me one moment, y'all. Okay. I was never that person who tried to really compete with people about a job, because I always wanted my word to speak for itself. I always wanted a person to know me for me and not listen to what other people said. You know what I'm saying? And try to come against me because of how other people said it. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, whatever. So I just, did what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, she did like me, but it was other people that didn't. You know what I'm saying? Because I just wasn't no butt. Cause now, we had the district manager used to come in there, you know what I'm saying? And she'll come in there and I speak to you, you know what I'm saying? But then she act like you supposed to just throw yourself at her. Child, please. Who? Baby, I ain't got to have it all. But I want my word to speak for itself. And if you don't respect me for my word, you dash it. Excuse my language, but you sure ain't gonna respect me for butt kissing, because I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So, I just always been that type of person. And even with the district manager, speaking of that, I remember, y'all, one time she wanted, because they wanted me to become a manager and stuff like that. And she came in, she would pop in every now and again. And she came to me, speaking to me about something. I can't even remember what it was, but I do remember her saying to me that she had a problem with something. And I was like, and like, I'm listening to her, and it kind of confused me. And when she said what she had to say, I was like, and she was like, I could tell that you're not listening to me because you got a smirk on your face or something like that. And I was like, well, it ain't even that. It's just that you come in here and you don't even speak to me. You know what I'm saying? But you expect for me to respect you. I think people get in these positions and think they automatically supposed to be respected. Baby, no. Respect is earned. I don't care who you is. I don't care if you find me today. Oh, well. Because I always had that instinct that God had me at the end of the day. So regardless of how you feel about me, that's just you. You know what I'm saying? But God got me. God got me. So, you know what I'm saying, y'all? I say all that to say, don't never let people quiet you. Like, I was quiet a lot of the times, but when it comes to God, I have a voice. I have a voice. And that's why I say I don't really agree with the person who I was listening to saying that sometimes if you find yourself in like drama or something everywhere you go, sometimes it's because of what you put out. That's not true at all. That's not true. Because I promise you, I've always been quiet. I never knew where God was going to send me. You know what I'm saying? I never knew. Like, I was a child. And they always ask you what you want to be. And I never knew where I wanted to do in life. I just knew I wanted to be successful. I knew I wanted to have a husband. I knew I wanted to have kids. And I knew I wanted to live happily ever after. That's all. That's all I ever said. No, I didn't know where my success would come from. But like I said, working on these jobs, I was quiet a lot because people, sometimes show up to work just to, see who nerve they can get on, and it's a lot of mess when it comes to work. And then it be like, people always be like, don't let nobody run you off your job. I don't let nobody run me off my job. But if the boss, if you can't control your people, and people get to act and treat people in a kind of way, and then they come to you, the boss, and you laughing with them and all this other stuff, and you know how these people are towards other people, you're a part of the problem, and I can't work for you. You know what I'm saying? If I can't come to you and for because you're my boss, and I can't come to you, you're gonna defend the negative person, I can't work for you, especially if it ain't, the money ain't matching up with the BS that I'm going through. I can't work for you. You know what I'm saying? So with City Trends, they ended up, the district manager, they ended up letting me go because of, companies always say they're going in a new direction. You know what I'm saying? Boom, it wasn't that. It's just that I want a butt kisser, and you really wanted to just get rid of me because of what I said to you. Because when I said, you come in here, you ain't speak to me. So, you know what I'm saying? I think she didn't expect, because I was so quiet, she didn't expect for me to say that. It's like people want you to back down. Y'all, the person in me, I don't have a lot, I wouldn't say I don't have a lot of confidence, but I am confident enough to know who I am. You can't come to me and tell me who I am based off of you walking by me, or based off of, whatever somebody done told you. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You cannot. And I'm going to tell you who I am. And I'm going to tell you about yourself. And I'm going to tell you what you do. You know what I'm saying? Because if you want me to work for you, you want me to be a manager, then I feel like we got to have some kind of relationship. But if you can't even come to me as my boss and talk to me and respect me, then the relationship, it will never work. The work relationship will never work. So, I always, even through all of the hurt and pain, y'all, that I've been through, I always looked at the bright side. Even if a person fired me, oh well, because I know you fired me because of some BS, because my work ethic has always been A1. Always A1. It's just when people want to control you, and you show them that, like some people, and I ain't gonna say all white people, but some white people, when they be in positions and you're a black person, they want you, they slick want to treat you like like you want to beg and for whatever it is, and you want to come to them, baby. Even if I didn't have a car, even if I was struggling, my lights was out, I will never just come to you and just act like you just my almighty, because you're not. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I feel that you don't respect me as a person anyways. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna come to you and ask you for no help. So you can just go and talk about me to the next person. No. You respected it. And I had another thought. You respected the black people that came to you that wanted to borrow, because like she did have this other lady that I was working for. She had this thing where she was written. I ain't even know, you know what I'm saying, because I never went to her and asked her for help. But like people go to her and ask her for help, and like when they get paid, they'll pay her back. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. I never did that. No ma'am. What I'm finna come to you and say, I'm not finna do that, because you already don't respect me for who I am. Yeah, I used to wear like t-shirts to work. Nah, everybody in there wore what they wanted to wear. I ain't just had no banging body and stuff like that, whatever. But I always had, braids, whatever. So I used to have a t-shirt, a little V-cut t-shirt, whatever. Everybody else can get tips, like the cashier and stuff in the morning, she got her little tip cut. But when the black lady, and then the white folks in the morning, the black lady come in, me and I had a cousin that worked there also. We had to change up our shirts. We had to cover up. We couldn't get tips no more. Like, it was just so much, and people have always like tried to come in, and I later to find out the waitresses at this job were going around saying that I was stealing their tip. Because I would probably, at the end of the workday, yes, I'm a cashier, but at the end of the workday, I might have $30 in my tip cup. Y'all mad. Y'all waitressing the tables. The people coming in sending y'all section. If y'all not doing what y'all supposed to do, what does that got to do with me? Because I'm not even waitressing tables. And this place was called Winston Sizzler. This and how the people would come in, they would go and get a ticket before they even came to the register. You know what I'm saying? So you paid after you ate. So if these people don't tip you, that has nothing to do with me. People also came in and got to go places. Those the people that used to tip me are the people that got to go places. I ain't never get no tip from the person that sat down and ate that was in your session. But that's what they were saying. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she's still I know that would happen when the lady ended up firing me. Oh well. When I went back in the job, it was one of the black girls. She was, all right. Well, I can't say that she was asking the lady for money or anything like that. I don't really know. But she was like, she back down. Because actually, when they let me go, they was actually transitioning to, they had sold the place, and another lady was finna start being the owner. And black girl, she was like, go back there, go talk to her. I was like, she was like, you know what? She was like, God got you. I said, yeah. I turned them shirts in. I ain't look back at that place. What I'm gonna cry for? I am not. I always knew, y'all, regardless of what I didn't have, I always knew who was my ultimate source. When my family do for me, help me out, whatever, then they get mad because I'm not doing what they want me to do and they stop doing for me, I didn't get mad at them, Oh, well, if you stop doing it, who am I? I can't make you do nothing for me. Everything that you did, you were doing, I felt like you were doing out the kindness of your heart, but the moment that you decided not to do it, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for what you did, you know what I'm saying? I always knew God was my source. He was my ultimate source. I always knew that. So that's why I say, with everything that I have dealt with in life, I will never feel like I was the reason because of this. I go to this job, these people don't like me. I go to this job, these people don't like me. I go to this job, these people don't like me. Honestly, y'all, how I felt, I wasn't in the right place. I wasn't in the place that God wanted me to be in. So everywhere I went, it was H-E-double-L. Like, people didn't like me and they didn't respect me for who I was in those positions. And I felt like God just wanted me to move. Like, honestly, I always felt like, regardless of whatever it was that I went through at that job, I always just felt like God wanted me to move. So that's why I'm in the place where I am now. That's why I'm not, like I say, y'all, I'm not on here like reading the scripture and trying to tell y'all, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, because like I said, I'm learning. I'm still learning the word. I can't tell you everything about God, but I can tell you my experiences and how I always felt and how God has always been my ultimate source, and I always known that. It's just that now I'm recognizing the relationship that the thing that He has always been there, and I'm turning to Him rather than turning to people for my happiness, for anything. I would rather just go to God. At this moment in my life, He's who I'm choosing. So, y'all, if you know the type of person you is. So if you know you're going to these jobs and going to these places, being around family, and you're not doing nothing now, you got to be honest with yourself. If you know you're not doing nothing to these people, but things are always happening, then maybe it's just you need to go to God. I mean, I'm here for the motivation. That's what I'm here for. I'm not trying to just force the word on you, but I want you to know where you can go. Well, maybe God is calling you to turn to Him. Like that's my ultimate thing. That's my ultimate goal on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm making these videos. That's why I'm talking. You know what I'm saying? Everything is experience, y'all. Everything that I've been through, I can promise y'all, regardless of regardless, I'm speaking from experience. And I promise you, later on, if people want to come in, you know what I'm saying, if people who I've dealt with want to come and, you know, come in on my videos or something, anything, can nobody ever say I just did anything to them. And if they do, they cannot say that I have not apologized for the things that I've done. I told y'all I went through my year of repenting. I went through my year of apologizing for things that I have done. I did. So if people still want to talk negative and be negative towards me, then that's fine. Because I did my job. I prayed to God. I cried about it. I repented. And you know, I stuck to it. You know what I'm saying? I really did. I really did. So don't never let your voice sometimes, don't let your voice be heard. Well, you know, sometimes you be in a job and you probably have to just fight for it, you know what I'm saying, if you feel like that's what's for you. But I just felt like those jobs were for me. The money was funny. The money was funny. So I just have to keep going. And like I said, even if I never make a dime from YouTube or anything like that, I still got other things that I'm doing that I'm trying to work towards. So it's not that I'm trying to just come on here and make money and all this other stuff. I've always felt like I've always been drawn to other people's pain, you know, and I've always wanted to be an advocate for people who go through things, for young people who's been through things with their life, been with family, and just ultimate just drama, because I've been there. I was that girl that just wanted to be happy for everybody else. But the moment God started elevating my life, He revealed that they just wanted you to be a cheerleader for them, and they didn't want you to be the star, be the center of attention. I'm Leo. They say Leos always want to center attention. I've never been that type of person. I don't want to center attention. I want to just stand with everybody. I wanted us to be in unity. That's what I wanted. But, you know, everybody don't want to be in unity with you. They want you to do good, but they don't want you to be on the same level as them. You know what I'm saying? And I've learned that too. So, yeah, I ain't trying to make this video this long. It's almost 30 minutes, so I'm finna go ahead and end it. But, y'all, find your voice. Know your place. Find your voice and know your place. You know what I'm saying? Don't be fighting for nothing that's not worth it. If it's worth it, fight for it. And get your relationship with God so you'll know where your place is. Because He will show you the way. He gonna show you the way. I'm still trying to find mine. I'm still looking. But I know through Him I will find my place. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all have an awesome day. Y'all, I'm gonna show y'all this view again. I know y'all been hearing it. You probably can barely hear me, but it's awesome. It's awesome. You know, you got a couple people. It's cold. It's a couple people out there walking. You know what I'm saying? I might get out there. It look like the sun trying to shine a little bit. I might get out there in a little bit, but I'm trying to wait till that sun come out and you know, so I can really be in some sun while walking on the beach, just a little bit, not a lot. But y'all have an awesome day. And if you don't know where to turn to God. That's all I gotta say. So y'all like, comment, and subscribe, like, comment, and subscribe, like, comment, and subscribe on my videos, y'all. Let me know how you feel. We doing this together. We gonna run it up together, y'all. Y'all have an awesome day. Bye bye.